I've been on the case for a really, really long time. I've solved a ton of puzzles. Haha, you put the crown on top. And look at that, he grew bigger. What was it again? That'll hold them all, White. Yeah, right? But there's one case I haven't solved. Yeah, movie Sonic design, I can't fix it. Cut. Start the episode.
Hello again, YouTube! We are back with another Scribblenauts Unlimited object editor commentary. Yes, let's get right into this with a boy as the source object right here. You saw the intro skit. We are going to be creating Detective Pikachu. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Pikachu himself as a detective. So I actually took this glue to be the body, but what we did is we placed the glue onto the grid of where the head object goes, like basically where the head grid is. We increased the size one notch of the head grid while the glue was on it, and then we moved the glue back down to the body, and you can shrink the head back to the one notch below, the size that it started at. Why would we do this? Well, we got a fingernail coming up next and a golden egg right there is for the belly, but it was because we wanted the glue to be a little bit bigger, but if you had just kind of put it on the body and increased the size there, it actually would have gone way higher than it needed to. The proportions wouldn't be right. Ginny Greenteeth will take that back arm right there. So yeah, Scribblenauts, that's sort of a workaround you can do, and if you're new to Scribblenauts, and especially this series, that's one thing that you can do is you can turn on these green grids, and it shows kind of where all the moving parts are. It shows where you can attach things, the arms, the legs, the head, all of that goodness. And so definitely notice we got webbed feet coming up right here. Next up, that was actually after Golem, the back shoulder piece of the Golem. So we want his legs to look like, especially on the thighs and where it connects to the body, we want that part to be a little bit bigger and fluffier. And then there's going to be little tiny feet coming out from that, and so that's what the webbed feet are, of course. Now, the thing is that I've created Pikachu, like 2 other times, right, in this series? And then we've had, like, Kendochu, Pokemon crossover stuff. This shape that we're taking, by the way, is a trapezium, so it kind of has these 4 sides, but none of the sides are really even or anything. That trapezium right there we did actually use on our previous designs of Pikachu. This is a brand new stamp for the series, and I don't know why it's taken me this long to use it until now, but Carrot, but that is C-R-A-E-T, and it's like the little carrot on the 6 on your keyboard, or phone's keyboard. When you do the shift button and then do 6. The little carrot up arrow thingy. Okay, so a trapezium right there to finish off the tail as well. So there we go. We got Detective Pikachu down right here. We had pom-poms on the back of the legs too. Creates more fur and hairiness and whatever. But we're going to go into the properties editor. This is where you can edit health and other things about your character. I like to read fun facts and background information about the characters that we create in this series. Once we get to this point, let's do this! Being called an urban fantasy mystery film, Pokemon Detective Pikachu is the 2019 movie based, obviously, on the Pokemon franchise and the 2016 video game called Detective Pikachu. Warner Brothers Pictures, Legendary Pictures, and the Pokemon Company are all in on this joint venture, and WB Games is actually the publishing company behind the Scribblenauts games, so I guess that's just a fun little caveat there. Now, I've not seen the movie yet, but we can give a mostly non-spoiler plot line by just saying that Tim Goodman is a 21-year-old salesman who had given up on Pokemon training after the death of his mother and the long-time absence of his father. It is revealed in the movie that Pikachu, wearing a classic deerstalker hat, can speak to and be understood only by Tim. Now, to my understanding, and again, I haven't seen the movie, but from the trailers and TV spots I can gather that Tim and Detective Pikachu go off to basically just look for Tim's father, and clearly they'll encounter much along the way. So we set up under the behavior tab in the properties editor, we set him up to basically use forensics, so you need like a general category. I essentially wanted the Detective Pikachu to be able to go pick up magnifying glasses if I ever put them down, so when you type in magnifying glass, it gives you just a general category selection that you can choose from, so that was why we went with that. Now, when we started off with the head as the source object, we also used the alien torso or body shape or whatever for the main head shape for Detective Pikachu, and again, I said it earlier, but Deerstalker, that's just the classic name for that hat, that a lot of detectives wear, so it's a very typical detective kind of thing, stereotype detective hat, basically. Komodo Dragon, not the end tailpiece, but right next to it. So before that, that's going to be for the start of Detective Pikachu's ears. Now, one thing about the ears here is I'm actually making them, we're trying to make everything furry, of course, but also I'm trying to make this look like different than our other Pikachu creations, and it should, Detective Pikachu himself, does kind of look like just a slightly different design. It's not like they just took the exact 3D sprites or whatever from Pokemon or anything like that and put it right into the movie. They gave him his own design. Bubble for the whites of the eyes, Seed was for the black on the ears, and we're gonna go with Bass. There's like a piece of the fin kind of near the tail, but it's not the actual tail fin. But yeah, we'll take Bass and do that for the nose. I'm also gonna give him that little line underneath. It's like a little divot in the palate, basically, just before the mouth. So that was a jellyfish. The upper tentacle piece, it kind of just looks like a black line there. 2 eyebrows, that can be for the mouth. We're gonna have his mouth closed like this. This is that's a very Pikachu mouth, though. Sometimes you'll see Detective Pikachu images with his mouth open, obviously. He can talk and all that stuff. He's cute, of course. But I guess what I'm saying is, with that closed mouth, that does actually look a lot like the anime or game Pikachu right there. We had a PPEA is for the pupil down there for the eyes, and we did another bubble to be the iris, or just, that color in Detective Pikachu's eyes right there. And I did pimple to be for some white, like just the shine and shimmer in the eyes. Hemisphere as well as just a sphere are both the electric sacs, the cheeks on his face. So here in the properties editor for the head object, if you do create the head and the body separately, you do want to make sure that on the equipment tab for your head object, check off that circle that says can be worn on the face like glasses. Once you fill that in, you can see, wow, that head is way too big. Oh my god, that is so definitely too big. So I'm definitely knowing that. But here you can see that, of course, when we gave the head object to the body object for Detective Pikachu, clearly, there needs to be some adjustments, but the head did go up kind of where it needed to go. It's just obviously it's way too big, and I'm gonna also move kind of with the head grid. Just like I said before, you can turn on those green grids and things. So here, we'll remove the head now after we kind of just moved the grid ever so slightly up. I'm gonna have to shrink this head a lot, and we just called it D Pika head. You could call it Detective Pikachu head. It's just you're gonna need to type that in pretty much every time you want it to spawn, unless you put it in your backpack. But there, that looks pretty good, except for he looks kind of tall and big. Although this is the world of Scribblenauts, but here, I changed my avatar to be the Dr. Kendo Pikachu version, so Kendo Chu. And here, that kind of looks like we're a little bit more matched up, to size. We made Kendo Chu long ago. But anyway, that's me and my avatar combined with Pikachu. And look at this. Here, we'll test the behavior, that script that I did for the magnifying glass. So I'll type that in and just drop it on the ground. And yep, he's going to go ahead and pick that up. So yeah. And there is actually Tank Cat from the Battle Cats. Here, let's see. This is going to be a matchup. The Battle Cats versus Detective Pikachu, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the case. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, he's scared, of course. He needs to be hit so that it'll trigger the script. Brave. So look at this. Detective Pikachu going nuts with that electric, but holy monkeys, this, holy cats, we should say. The Battle Cat's Tank Cat is very strong. I guess it's less that it's strong and it's more tanky, but that makes sense, right? So anyway, here, we'll check this out. This is my creation of Pikachu that we did actually somewhat recently, although it actually maybe was a long time ago. This was in like November, basically, of 2018. So this was a remake, obviously, because we did create Pikachu in episode 17 of this series. If you imagine we've made like 400 videos of these Scribblenauts things, can you believe that? So yes, we pitted Pikachu versus Pikachu. Who is gonna come out on top right here? I think our Detective Pikachu is actually gonna be the victor as far as this stands, but we'll see if Pikachu, normal Pikachu, I guess we'll call him, can come out on top right here. I do like our Detective Pikachu design, though. That is really cool, and you could probably mix aspects of both of them, if you wanted to. So I will put a link in the description, maybe in the top comments, something like that, so that you can see our Pikachu design right there from our remake Pikachu. And yes, it looks like Pikachu has fallen. There's the regular Pikachu head on the Detective Pikachu body, but with the hairiness, it does kind of look a little bit odd. So here we go. We got Pikachu, our Detective Pikachu, we should say, is right here on screen. Here, you know something? I scripted our Detective Pikachu to be worn on the head like a hat on the body object. So here, let me take him. We'll put him into our hands, and yep, he goes up onto the head just like that. And then this Pikachu can be held in your hands. Look, I command all Pikachus. This is like Pikaception. This looks so weird. This looks really odd, but it's funny. So yes, Pikachu, Kendo Chu, and Detective Pikachu from bottom to top. Ladies and gentlemen, I do just want to thank you so much for viewing this. YouTube is a tough place, you guys. I had 200,100 subscribers just as of like 3 days ago. I'm recording this on Thursday, May 16th, so that was at the beginning of the week. And in a matter of 3 days, I've lost like over 100 subscribers because because they did the YouTube gaming app, they basically just merged it with YouTube. I don't know why this stuff had to all be separate. And then the fact that like suddenly I guess those subscribers from the YouTube gaming app never were getting my videos or something, because like now all of a sudden they see me, and a lot of them unsubscribed, but some of them are like rejoining the community and everything. I don't know, it's a huge mess, but it screwed me, ladies and gentlemen, because now we are back below the 200,000 mark. So God, we have to get that back again. But I'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
So I step on other lives, twists and turns, and I made the cycles end with dignity and courage. Now I hope to God that everyone can learn something from what I say, and hopefully you flourish.